goodness. Okay. Just a quick present for all those who are around, because
Some of them are high. We are present.
yeah. FA, can we just get a present really quickly?
Eh, she don't go. Wow. Efe, we need you in this episode.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you now.
Now we can hear you. Okay, so everybody again, welcome. It seems like everybody is present, but let's do quick intro. So I'm Olori.
Eka is here.
Bonjour, le merci. If
Ah,
you're in the
Okay, let's go. We have quite a jam-packed episode. So quick spotlights. So I'll start first. My spotlight for this week is the fact that the COVID numbers in Nigeria are going
All right.
up.
Hey,
Now, what I don't categorically understand is this: you need a test to come into the country.
yes,
So if the people who are coming in are supposedly COVID negative,
yeah,
that means that the people that are in the country are the ones that are are the ones that are COVID positive. So is it that COVID has been chilling since April, May in Nigeria, and then it now decided to come back? It makes no sense to me. It just seems like there's mago in the tests involving
Or
those that are coming back.
Or
Yeah.
another thing might be because you have to test a few hours or days before you go. So maybe some people are testing and then going to YOLO, and then by the time they enter the plane, they are positive and spreading. And then
That's a
by the
fair
time they
point.
reach Nigeria, they are gone. They are spreading it like wildfire. Because Nigeria, if you wear mask, people are looking at you like, hello.
Clearly, there's no COVID in Nigeria because parties are going on. People are turning
I
up.
saw that.
Like,
Uh,
I heard that even though Davido cancelled his concert for Lagos due to the lockdown or whatever, his Abuja. I saw a poster for an Abuja one either today or yesterday. So clearly, it's only Lagos that may be having this higgy hacks. But that's my spotlight. Something is fishy because I don't get how
going on.
numbers are going up when the people that are coming back are meant to be COVID negative. But yeah.
I think my own spotlight too is this COVID. Oh, we don't know where it is happening. We're hearing now that there's a new type of COVID, a new
Yeah.
strain that they did not. So does that then mean that the vaccine will not cover that one?
That's a fair point.
Then does that mean that maybe the people that went to Nigeria, they tested them for strain A? So strain B is the one that is moving. In fact, COVID, I am just sick of you. That's it. Yeah.
My spotlight is this Thames and Omale in Uganda. So this
Oh my
girl, I didn't even know who
God.
she was. But what stuck out for me was when she insulted the Ugandan artist, I think BB Cool or something, and this girl said, basically, word of the day, the sentence of the day is dickless folk. I'm like,
Wow.
wow, this
Wow.
and I had to go and find out who she was. I was like, now wow, like that was like my own thing, the whole Ugandan thing, and then how everything just ended.
But I felt like her rant post the event was a bit unnecessary.
That's what I'm saying. It was
No,
unnecessary.
I think why it was annoying her is because Uncle Bebeku was there collecting praises and saying that he
said
was
he was the one that
instrumental
caused-
and everything. If he kept quiet, she would have kept quiet. But I think what pained her is that, guy, I know that you were the cause of this problem. Now you're coming to come and collect accolades and all that. So she had to set it straight.
That's
The thing-
right. So
Yes.
But my very unpopular opinion is this, right? I think that we are maybe standing behind our Nigerian people as we should.
Artists.
But at the same time, if Lagos or Nigeria shut down performance shows for all
It would be the
Nigerian
same thing.
artists, right, and then Cardi B came in and they allowed Cardi B to do a show, it would be the same
People will go
backlash,
crazy.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
But will it be backlash towards Cardi B or towards the government?
Yeah.
I personally feel Nigerians would target the government in the sense that look at you people, which they have done a number of times before. I don't know if Cardi B will get backlash. That's the thing.
no, but I think they will target the government in the sense that if the government lets Cardi B go back to the US scot free. Because what they're saying in Uganda is if we did a show, we would be in the same police
custody, yes.
right. So they didn't backlash their own government because they feel like the government has done what the government said they were going to do. You do a show and
Yes.
there's backlash. So to me, I feel like we took it a bit you know, extra, in my opinion. But again,
Unnecessary.
yeah, but then again, we covered the whole Uganda issue where the president picks and chooses when he wants to apply COVID
Yeah.
laws, it's true,
laws.
Seth.
So anyway, let's just, because this is a jam-packed, power-packed
This is a hot
blockbuster
one.
blockbuster episode. Heps. Anyway, so the gist making the rounds this week, like shut down social media, is between a lady called Queency Beena. She's apparently a singer, and
Hmm.
a doctor, quote unquote, with the social media handle Alaska OB.
Hmm.
So the story goes as thought. I'll try to give it without my opinion, and then we'll dig in. So the lady came out maybe Thursday or Wednesday with a video saying, I'm on the 19th floor of a hotel. I'm suicidal. Someone took advantage of me. Here is his name, Alaska OB. I'm suicidal. I need justice. Right. So of course, social media went up in arms in support of our, the girl who was coming out to say she has been taken advantage of, or
Yeah.
raped, I guess is the more direct term. And then the guy came out the next day saying that is a lie, that I did not rape her, that he now because the girl in her come out posted a fraction of their conversation where he seemed to be pleading with her for something. So that I guess lent credence to her claim that he maybe raped her and was begging for forgiveness, or for her not to go to the police or something. And then the guy came out saying that no, it's a lie, that they had an agreement of a fee to be paid. Basically he said that he took her out for, like, they met through her Snapchat platform. He liked her videos. He invited her to Abuja at some point in time, and she said, you will have to pay my flights to come, and he didn't want to do that. So like that whole negotiation, like, ended there. A few months, maybe years after or something, she does a Snapchat showing that she's in Abuja, and he lives in Abuja, by the way. So
Hmm.
he's like, oh, since you're in my town, let's link up, let's hang out, let's do dinner. So she was like,
Hmm.
I'm staying at Hilton, so 8 p.m. I can do dinner with you. He claims that after dinner he basically let her know that I'm trying to just have sex. So can we make that happen? Auntie says $1,000 for the night. He says I can afford that. Then did not negotiate 200k naira, which is about, I want to say, $300, thereabout, roughly, maybe. And so she says, and then she says no. He goes his way. She calls, according to him, she calls him later on that night to say that
Yeah.
come back. I am not agreed for the 200k. They
Hmm.
he comes. They do what they have sex. He pays her only half the money, but says that I'm going to extend the room for one more night. So maybe I'll give you the balance when I come back tomorrow. He does
Yeah.
a booking for her. She's comfortable with seeing the booking reference, but I guess the next day when she tries to, use the booking to get a new room, that falls apart. So that's his claim, saying that it wasn't rape, it was basically a business deal for sex,
Done.
for money gone bad.
Yeah.
She's saying that no, that when they had dinner, she got tipsy. She went to a club, got tipsy even more, and so, but he kept pestering her to come back to her room with her room with her. And when she let him in, she wasn't her full self. He eventually like had sex with her, and then and when she got herself, she realized what happened, and then she's coming out calling for justice. That's the background story.
Yeah.
So we all have our own opinions of, was it rape, was it business deal
Yeah.
gone wrong. I will let you guys start first because I had one opinion before I watched her interview with Freeze this morning. I also did some research on what doctors make in Nigeria as well. So, I'm a well-researched journalist. I don't really do half
But this
work.
guy is not. Is he even, I don't think he's a practicing doctor though. He
He
probably went to
is.
medical school. Is
No,
he
I
a
think
practicing?
I think he's a practicing doctor, because what
Are
she
you
claimed in the
serious?
Freeze interview was that I'm a medical doctor, and I work, like, the package that he goes with is, I'm a medical doctor. I
Okay,
work
the
with
freeze
Aisha
has freeze
Buhari.
interviewed the guy.
Yeah, no, not the guy, the girl.
Oh, okay.
That's his package, that I work with Aisha Buhari.
Wow.
As no doctor now. Come on.
No. I'm a doctor, because basically, if you say that I'm a doctor, right, I may put you at, okay, maybe you're in Abuja teaching hospital kind of level. But once I'm a doctor that works with the presidency, that gives you some panache. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we don't. But we don't know if it's true, Abby.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
don't
the
know
girl said
if it's
to her.
true, but basically,
Yeah.
but so far so good. The guy is a doctor, from all we know.
Okay.
Whether whether he worked with Aisha Buhari or not is a whole different story. But yeah, so I will give my opinion when you guys finish. But yeah, let's do opinions first, and then we'll go into what is consent, what is rape, and then so let's do like general opinions first. Who wants to start us off?
Yeah, please. I will do the honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
So first of all, let me start by saying that when I saw this story, of course, the first thing was I support the girl. Then I will never take sides until I know what happened. So then I saw the boys' interview, Alaska, and then I saw the girls' interview. And my thing is, first of all, I think this was transactional sex gone wrong. So I don't even think it was rape. So I'm not even in the rape category or saying he raped her. The first thing. Secondly, I will say this because I remember Freeze, when I saw the interview with Freeze asked her a question and he said, if he had paid you in full, would you have come to say that he raped you? Right. And then the girl said that, I think she said no, and then she was like that, yes, but it would be like compensation. And I'm like, Auntie, you failed. Because if we go to
let me
court,
clarify what she said really quickly. She said that she may not have come out if he had paid, because in him giving her compensation, to your point, that in that compensation conversation, he would have apologized and recognized his wrong. And so they could have settled it and make so she's saying that basically in that negotiation, right, him giving her the money is basically, he would have said, I'm sorry for what I did. Let me make it up to you this way. And so they would have had an amicable settlement. That's basically what she was saying.
Yeah, and let me just be honest. If you were raped, there's no amount of money that somebody would give to you compensate you. So this, for me, like, I don't know. I've never heard of an actual rape victim. Even I remember when the band stuff was trending, people were like, why would she want to collect money? Because it's like real. I remember there was a girl that was raped in Lekki a couple of years back. She wasn't looking for money. She was just looking for justice. This Queency came online. I saw the video where she was crying, and I was like, this your cry? It's not like this is fake cry though. This doesn't look authentic.
Can I push back on something really quickly on the money aspect though? I feel like, and just to say that I don't forget this point, I think many times, like in the US, for example, right, when the statute of limitations have expired for a criminal case, right, many of these victims, like I think even the Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein guy, they sue you in a civil case to get monetary damages if they win. So I feel like I get what you're saying in the sense of that maybe it makes you look a little bit unserious to take money, but I also feel like you've harmed me. If I choose to monetize, my pain or whatever, I feel like there should be room for that. But that was just what I wanted to say.
Yeah, there should be room for it. But the thing is, this girl hasn't, first of all, you've not even laid, like, we don't know of any police report. So it's like you're asking, your money is compensating you. Now, we've not gone to court or done anything. And your own is like, if he paid, so for me, I already look at that, like, there's a problem there for me. Like, if you were raped and somebody raped, like, you wouldn't come and say, if he gave me money, then it will compensate. Like, there's no kind of compensation for actual rape. Fair. Another thing is in her story, because she was telling Freeze that when she came, that she came with a friend, and the guy was like that, I didn't want you to come with someone else. So basically, she had to tell her friend, okay, go and stay in my room. My thing is, he raped you. That friend was supposed to be in the room, Abby. Was your friend there when he raped you? Her story is not clear.
No, sorry. That's again, just to clarify, as a journalist, she claimed that the friend said to go home to go and change for their eventual club activity.
I'll think later.
Now, I don't disagree with you that there were some holes in her story, right? One that I will point out in the Freeze interview, she made it seem like her coming out was after she had come back to Lagos, right?
Yeah.
And she had been trying to call him for like 2 days now, right? And he hadn't picked up. But in the suicide video, she claimed that, I'm in a hotel on the 19th floor. So it seemed like you made that, so you seem to have made that video, as it happened. But then your story now makes it seem like it was after the facts. Yeah, so there were some holes in her story, and then also we didn't get all these details until he brought out the chats.
Exactly. So that's another thing. If you're going to claim rape, please come with everything. Come with every proof you have. Don't pick and choose the ones that will favor you. Again, I go back to the girl that was raped in Lekki. The girl, her story was, it checked out like from head to toe. Everything she said, the way it happened, that was what happened. We never, till date, we don't even know that girl's name. And for her, she was like, look, I'm not even here for money. I just, I was raped and I want someone to go to jail for it.
Right.
And unfortunately, I don't think those guys, I think they probably shipped them out of the country because I think their parents had money. But this Queency
is it
girl,
in that hotel that they were recording her or
Yeah.
something? Okay, yeah.
The one, I think one of her friends raped her with other guys or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this girl, like, your story doesn't check out. Then secondly, the way she was asking for money and the way, like, I saw a conversation between her and the guy, and the guy was, of course, the guy is a nonsense person, but the thing is, both of them are silly people. The boy is an Abuja boy. Apparently, based on comments I saw on social media, it's like, this guy has done this stuff. So we're not even saying it's possible that he can rape, but we're saying, okay, but did this rape happen? It's possible that he's a guy who just picks up girls and has a good time with them, probably pays some of them, but according to him, he even confessed that most times he doesn't pay them.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like, at first I was saying rape, and then after listening to both sides, I was like, no, it doesn't make sense. And then recently, as of today, because I checked the girl's page, this girl went to go and post a new video, and she was like, oh, like if I get to 100, I think she said 100,000 or 10,000 likes or something, I'll post the video. And I'm like, Auntie, were you really raped? Like, you're not traumatized. I'm sorry, first of all, I don't even know, as a singer, I don't know what you sing. I've never heard of her till this whole thing. And I'm like, is that really, I'm not saying every rape person has to act the same way, but it just doesn't make, like, your story is already not adding up. You're now coming to say we should stream your music. Is this publicity stunt for you? Is it clouds, kidney for you? Or, and for me, I just think the way the whole thing has happened, it just makes, when people say rape, people typically don't side with women. Because it's like, okay, give us the full story. I don't understand how you say you were raped and in the next minute you're telling us to stream your music. Is that really what you should be doing now if you were really raped? That's just my own thing. So for me, I think both of them are silly, but I feel like it is transactional sex. Unfortunately, she wasn't smart enough. Collect your money 24 hours before you're doing what you're doing. So that way nobody is cheating anybody.
24
it's
hours.
true. It's true.
Okay.
And she was saying, another thing that made me think was when because Freeze was asking her, she was like, typically if she doesn't want to go out with a guy, she'll bill him. Like, she would typically say, oh, $3,000, $1,000. And I'm like, okay, first of all, as normal women, for those of us who are not dealing with transactional sex, the first thing you say is, I have a boyfriend. Nobody says, oh, can you pay me $3,000? No, and either you say you have a boyfriend or you say, oh, I'm married. But to come and start saying, oh, can you pay 3,000? It's like,
or you block him. Or you block him because he's in Abuja and you are here. So you can actually just block him and keep him moving.
Everything is just somehow sharp, but that's my take.
But I saw one somewhere, I don't know if it's the Daddy Freeze interview. I've not watched the Daddy Freeze interview, that she said the $1,000, she's an artist, so there was a show and she was supposed to perform her appearance. That is why. So what was that
again, one? Let me clarify again as the resident journalist on this platform. It wasn't in the Daddy Freeze interview, but basically what the guy was asking her was, what was the fee for?
Okay.
Right? And to your point, she said that I'm an artist, right? If you need me to appear, the same way that if Tiwa is going to perform somewhere, I think she used Tiwa as the example, that you will pay her an appearance fee. So so in her own words, she was like, I don't care if you call it a low show or whatever. That's what she actually said.
Yes.
That, for her to appear, you need to pay her appearance fee. Now, I like how you mentioned that though, because if you watch the Freeze interview, it seemed like, oh, a guy who was trying to woo her, right, and was pestering her all night, and then maybe she got worn down by the pestering and finally said, come to my room.
Accepted.
Not accepted, but come to my room, and then he now raped her there. But your point that she got another interview saying that I'm an artist,
sorry, but accepted
for appearance fee.
No, was accepted.
No. What I said, what I'm trying to distinguish is that in the Daddy Freeze interview, she's making it seem like when like guys pester you.
And you now say, okay, let's come.
Let's have dinner, or okay, come to my house. That's not an invite to let's have sex, but like, okay, let's hang out or whatever. So she said that.
But the way the guy,
got one down.
Yeah, but my thing is, the guy, basically, the conversations they had been having prior to that were sexual conversations. For her to even say, okay, can you pay this? Okay, so are we saying that? I know, because on the guy's page, I think he's maybe an organizer or a promoter for that Made in Abuja. Because I saw Made in Abuja, a poster on his Instagram page.
Okay.
But I'm just like, money, you said, okay, you claim that if you want a guy to leave you alone, you tell him, oh, can you pay me $1,000, $3,000? Secondly, I'm sorry, which kind of artist is she? The room she said she paid for 110K.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to question her source of income, but even people that make $500,000 naira, you're not going to spend 100. Is she the one? And she said she paid for that room.
Yeah.
So if you like the person that brought you for the appearance, they didn't pay for your hotel room. I don't know. And
No,
the guy was saying,
So she's not going. She didn't come for a show, did she?
No. She claimed in the Daddy Freeze interview that she's about to start a fashion business, and she
Okay.
came to Abuja to do feasibility study to get a store. These are her words: feasibility study. That she's looking for a store for the eventual business. That's why she was in Abuja for a.
So she didn't come for a show. That show thing was just.
Yeah, no, but
yes.
But your point of her speaking from both sides of her mouth in the interview before the freeze one, she made it seem like I'm an artist. Anywhere you need me to appear, whether it's for a show or not, you pay an appearance fee. Because I know, like, even back in the day, and I won't give too much info here, but back in the day when we were doing something in high school, right? Many artists asked for even appear, like many non-performing celebrities asked for an appearance fee. If you recall, so she's saying that to even appear, right, there's a fee attached. But then now she's making it seem like it was a guy meets girl. He was pestering me. I said, come to my room, and then he not took advantage. So that story is not adding up. From where do we go from? You build him for an appearance fee to he was bothering me, and I said, come to my room, and then he now took advantage from there.
No, this whole thing is just a mess. It's a mess. First of all, I would like to even start from the other side, because we've talked about the lady a lot.
Yeah.
The guy, guy. Like, we can see it. Like, let's remove rape. Let's remove everything. He's a guy. Doctor, whether it's doctor or promoter, I don't care. He is, and it's unfortunate, but there are many people, speaking for somebody that has lived in Abuja before, there are many stupid guys that that probably even might not even have this money that they are negotiating.
And that is it.
They might not even have, because like from what I heard, or from what I got from the interview and from Ubi Franklin's interview with other ladies, the issue is that guy does that. He does this kind of thing where he doesn't pay complete money or whatever. Why would you be going to go and meet girls that are asking for $1,000 and 200,000 naira if you can't afford? So first of all, the guy is a stupid guy, and for all the women that have been involved with him to be involved with him, I feel bad for them, and I say sorry, because he's a stupid guy. Well, because to be honest, I would personally say if a woman decides to get money for sex, that is her own business, and if she does that, it is left for the person transacting to pay to hold his own side of the bargain. He didn't. He didn't pay her complete money. Now, over to the babe side. I don't know why all these stories are confusing.
That's just it.
Me, I would say I've not watched the Daddy Freeze interview. I'm just going from her initial cry out to the fact that she took a screen, which has now made me see that a lot of people take pictures of messages. They don't give us the full story. Because when the guy now gave the full story, I was like, okay, he couldn't have made this up, because her part where she crept was also there.
Yeah.
So from what I could see, even he was telling her to pick up her calls, but she also said that he wasn't.
He was calling him.
That she was calling him, he wasn't picking. He's begging her to pick. I don't even know what is going on here.
No, to clarify that, I think what happened is initially when she was calling him, maybe to get the balance or something,
he didn't pick.
And that's typical.
Once she now started
exposed him,
she now wanted to call and discuss with her. That was she now said that I'm not picking until I see alerts.
And he sent a video showing, like, threatening her as well.
But was it threatening?
No,
But
we're
this
not
one,
threatening because she said she would expose him. He said he sent her
but we were
a
playing
video
together. That's
saying
what he
that
said.
look
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
this. Does this look like
Yeah.
rape to you? I believe, I think my own, I don't know because I can't
My
tell.
yeah.
I don't know if she was raped or not. I can never know. I wasn't in the room with both of them. But my own is that I just hope, because rape is such a strong,
It's serious.
it is
Yeah.
a lot of people are suffering rape and they are not
Exactly.
even able to come out to accuse
And nobody will
anybody.
believe them too.
And nobody is believing them and all that. So I hope, I don't want to say that I doubt her accusation, simply because, as we have just said, a lot of people come out and say rape and nobody believes them. But then but rape is very strong. So as she's coming out, please let her be sure of
But
everything that
exactly what she said.
transpired, because
Yeah.
there are so many levels to it that I don't know what is happening and who is telling the truth. Also, with the fact that he said she was, when he went into the room, when she sent the text message when he was in
Mm,
the club, that he should come before she changes her mind.
her mind. Yeah.
He ran over there
He
and he said
ran.
he went to the
Exactly.
room and she was already high and she was drinking whatever he said she was
Yeah.
drinking. So there are so many things here, in the sense of, was she intoxicated?
Mhm.
Did he take her? Because it's possible that she was and he took advantage of her. That means
Mm,
her rape, for her to say rape, that means she wasn't fully aware of herself. So the
mm.
possibilities of him actually raping him in that situation are high. So maybe she woke up the next morning and realized that she was raped. But then the issue now I have is the um, monetary aspect, one,
Yeah.
and the fact that she was aware the next day to go downstairs to go
Ask.
go
Yeah.
and try to recheck herself in for the.
Mm,
So like, it's a struggle to understand everything that is going on,
mm-hmm.
and the fact that I don't even know. I don't even know what is going on, because from the girl's side, I would just say all this, which I will give men bill if I'm not interested. It can cause problem.
Can cause problem.
One day you meet the one that will say he can pay the $3,000. So will you
And then
sleep
what
with
happens?
him or what? What will you do? Will
But
you sleep with him?
so just to respond to that, because and I'll give my other side of my devil's advocate opinion, is I feel
Mm,
like you make a good point in the sense that if that's your way to scare men, right? You've now given a bill
a
that
price tag to your
yeah,
body.
yeah, to me it's not even that, right? It's someone, like someone says, what will you do for $1 million, right?
Mm,
And you say something, right? And then the person now brings the money out, right? So for me, I feel like in this case, if you give a guy a bill that maybe you think he cannot pay, but like basically you are willing to go into this deal if he can show that money,
mm,
and he now calls your own bluff and shows the money. So to me, I feel like even if it was a case where maybe you didn't plan to sleep with the guy because you thought that he wasn't good for the money, but once you're able to do that 200K or $1K, you're like, you know what, you
you've
know
opened up something.
that
Yeah.
let you not lose all round. After all, you have paid 100K for this room. At least break even on this trip. You get what I'm saying? I'm not
Mm,
saying that that's a good, I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying that it's easy if this is your way. If someone meets that high bar that you set, you can easily start justifying why. Well, what's the big deal there for how many minutes? Let me just
let me just take it.
exactly. So to me, that could have also been the case where maybe she didn't think that he will match the the rate. But where
The
I
thing
want
is,
to
he
yeah
didn't even match it. No,
yeah
she asked for
true
1,000.
no
So it's
true
like,
but
Mm,
why? Do you get what I'm saying? If that guy paid 1,000, then we'll say okay. But I feel like she wanted to sleep with him. So all because he didn't match it. If you like a guy, people that if you're doing runs or you're doing proper Olusho work, the person cannot drop that money. Forget it. You're not opening your leg.
no
So in
but
this case, I
mm,
feel like I don't know. That's what I think. I feel like if he didn't match it, he was like, you know what? Oh yeah, I'll do 200. And she was like, okay, you know what? Come to my room. Oga raced. He said he was somewhere else. He literally entered the car and raced back to where she was. So I'm like, many people do booty calls with all this Snapchats, Instagram. The problem arises when there's money. If there's any kind of transaction, then we can. And that's the thing. Like women, unfortunately, when a woman feels like if a guy maybe we had sex with a guy, he didn't call me the next day. I've seen it happen. Somebody will now call and say, "Oh, but you raped me." That's where, as a man, because I remember I was talking to a male friend and he was like, "This guy is a stupid guy." Like Eka was saying, he's a guy. He was like, that thing, it happens a lot. Like people go to Instagram to hook up, whether you pay, you don't pay, that one is your problem. But that's where the guy should have finessed the girl. But uncle was calling, like, what are you going to do? The girl was like, okay, you jammed the wrong person. I'm not an Abuja girl. Like, I came from Lagos. Like, you get? There are some people you cannot try this with. Like, if he tries this with a girl from Port Harcourt, he's gone. You get? Or like someone from, Edo, Delta, Imo, Lagos.
Which brings us to another point too. Another point is that, see, if you're charging for sex, or you said, if they collect your money, please.
Collect your money first.
Because there are many stupid guys out there that they will collect your money so that we are sure that you have collected your money for the service. And after the service, you ask the guy to bounce. And then if he doesn't bounce, you have to have your security, as in do the work well.
So I want to go into that payment piece, but one thing I wanted to say, because I was talking to a guy friend of mine about this too, and he was like, if we take Alaska's version as the truth, let's assume for a second there, he was like, it could be the issue of, because if this is a business, you call a high number. $1K is like maybe it's like 400, 500K, right? Knowing fully well that they will bargain you down.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a standard business
Nigerian business practice. Yes.
Exactly. So to me, that could have been one thing that she was doing. And then two, the friend was also like, maybe she had other clients or other things that she was running that night. Right. And that's why she was like, you haven't bargained me down to 200K. Let me see who else may be exactly. And then maybe when those things did not really materialize, you're like, you know what, I've already spent 100K on this room, let me break even. Right. So you that are willing to do 200K, come and do quick, and then we move on. So that could have also been the case where, like, it's a negotiation, like, we're seeing what we can, because I've already spent the 100K in this hotel, so that's already a sunk cost at that point in time. But where I want to go is to play devil's advocate a little bit here, because I was firmly on, this is a business deal gone wrong. No too more talks. But as I'm watching the Fritz interview, I've softened a little bit on that stance, and I'm like, a rape could have occurred. Now let me start with this Alaska of a guy. When he did that Ubi interview, he was reeking of, I have money, I'm rich, I'm a big boy, I'm a diamond member, I dine in Houston. He didn't explain to us that he texted her to tell her friend not to come. Because my own guy friend was saying that, because he spent some time in Abuja, he was like, as guys, you can't collect table, right? Yeah, that you people cannot afford individually, but once you split the bill, right, you can, right? So he came with his own friends, knowing that they will split bill, or each person will cover their own bill. So how coming with a friend was already going to throw off his own budgets. Right. So for me, the guy that came to the Ubi interview sounding all rich, I'm a diamond member. Why would you have a problem with the girl bringing a friend? Not that it's right, but if money is not your problem, then that should not have been a problem for you too. So for me, I'm like, you're not as big as you talk. So for me, your character already started coming into question. And then what actually made me do a deep dive on doctor salary in Nigeria was because I'm like, how much is a doctor earning in Nigeria that you are willing to negotiate to 200K? In fact, that the initial $1K did not even fear you. You even had the money to even still negotiate down to 200K. I'm like, how much is your take home pay, right? That you are able to, do the, play
Mary,
the game.
you're looking at somebody, you're looking at normal individuals. You're looking at normal individuals in Nigeria that are doing what they are writing on their LinkedIn.
Fair point.
This is Abuja here. Contracts are going round. There is embezzlement. There are things happening. There are shows. There are investments.
But I'm saying based on what he claims he's doing as a doctor, because my friend was like, if you're a senior, maybe consultant doctor, that maybe you can get between 500K and 1 million. That 1 million being that you maybe do some shifts in some private
Hospitals.
hospitals as well to augment your maybe your government's based salary, right? So I'm like, even if you're earning 1M a month, you seem like a WhatsApp doctor. How many girls are you giving 200K? Do you get what I'm saying? For a one night shindig. So to me, that was the first thing. And I watched the interview again in the sense that this guy didn't even pay her because it seems like the 100K that he claims he transferred was fake.
He didn't even send it.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it the 100K that was fake? I thought it was he transferred. He
Yeah.
faked an alert for an extra 100K.
No, so on the review, what you said
Oh
that
man.
initial 100K was fake. The room booking was fake because I mean I can book a room from anywhere in the world, and then
Yes.
once I leave your room, I cancel it.
Yes.
There's no, you can't
And
book
if he's a
anywhere.
diamond member, they might
Right.
not charge him for cancellation.
Exactly. So for me, and again, the guy that was saying that, I made a member that, she was in a standard room. So,
She
my
He wasn't
name,
upgraded.
yeah. And
executive.
so clearly you don't have as much money as you are, portraying yourself to have. So for me already, I'm like, your character is already in question. And then two, when Ubi said many girls are accusing you of, this, I thought this was the actual rape, but it seems like what this is that he talks a big game for a girl
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
doesn't pay what he has agreed
Yes.
on. So this whole I'm a doctor, I work with the presidency, kind of a packaging. As the guy once said, many Abuja guys, they have enough money to buy car and wear good clothes, but they don't have where to lay their head is not sure at night.
Yeah.
You're even
Right?
saying buy car. That car is borrowed, sister.
Thank you.
As
Hey.
in,
Thank you. So
honestly,
I think this guy is a
Abuja.
packager. This guy is a packager that talks a big game, right?
package, as in,
Now sleeps
with fine boy,
with a
everything.
girl and then does not pay what he has agreed to, because no wonder 200K was not a big deal because he already planned to not pay that money. So that wasn't a big deal to even say, let me do 200. So for me, that was so to me, right? I'm like, what is disgusting to me is that as an adult, forget that it's a sex kid, as an adult,
Yeah.
you give your word
Pay up.
and cannot follow through. Like for me, that's disgusting. Even a friend of his, according to the longer Ubi,
He said that is how he
yeah,
does. He agreed.
exactly. So to me, I'm like, as a man, forget sex issue. Like you committed to a number that you cannot fulfill. For me, just seems
Yeah.
like your character is in question. And then two, for me, this girl, where I feel like a rape may have happened is, I think it is not unusual for someone that has been assaulted to try to gain control over the situation.
Yeah,
So like,
just
so you've been raped and your control taken away from you, and then to get your own sanity back or make it seem like it wasn't as bad, you now try to gain control. So for me, that money
Yes.
may have been, let me not look stupid, let me try and gain some control, that at least if I got paid, right, maybe I can deal with my own self better, if that makes sense, right? So that money may have been as a devil advocate play, may have been, let me try and gain some control over this scenario. She claimed that she didn't consent to her being filmed, right? So which for me, I want to believe that. So for me, it just makes it seem like either they agreed on the money and the money did not come out, or maybe the girl was tipsy high, not her full self, right? Or maybe she was willing to do A and B, but not A, B, and C, right? And the guy took the whole had sex with her, and then she's like, at least pay me so that I don't seem stupid, because maybe I should have known better. Do you get what I'm saying? Because she was like, even from his IG profile, she was like, the guy doesn't have money because he seemed to be bragging too much on his IG, and she was like, I think guys that do that seem to be fake, right? Even when she called the $1K and even the whole friend issue, she didn't know that this guy isn't her spec, right? So for me, I feel like maybe one other thing, like I knew that I like something felt fishy, and
But I
I
still
feel
went ahead.
exactly. So now, like, pay me, let me not look too stupid to myself. Could be where she's coming from as a devil's advocate thing. But to me, I feel like in a rape issue, right, where nobody was there and there's no evidence of it's of what happened, it becomes a he said she said, right?
yeah.
And as we've pointed out, her stories have been having too many holes in it. So her character
Yeah.
is questionable. But him to as a guy who seems to like give his word and then
They're both
you know
questionable characters. That's just
yeah,
the thing.
his own character too is also in question and again it has to this so-called Abuja. Like I've been hearing of the Abuja guy, thing, but this brings it home of how you can package lie all for sex. There was a girl
It's
that was
ridiculous.
there's a girl in Abuja that would take 5-10K for a night with you.
Exactly.
Why
Sex
did
can
you
be
go for
cheap.
that?
Like, why
The
go through all
location,
that?
I can even share it. They are there. They are there.
So
I said, why are you going to Hilton? I don't
exactly,
understand.
exactly.
When
What the
we
Hilton
say to
for?
is there, I beg, please, let me not talk. Oh. This guy is a yeye guy. I hate
Yeah.
people who lie. Like, why do you do this big boy thing? Why?
Exactly. That to me is what
Ah,
was disgusting me. Is the whole fake the big boy. Like I'm like you're probably like 35 maybe at the least. Really, like you're
And
still
he
living
picked
this
the wrong
life.
person. That's another thing. Maybe he
he
can try
picked the
it.
wrong person.
Try it with Abuja babes. They'll be
He
calm.
cannot. That's why he's looking at Lagos babes. They know him in Abuja already. He cannot try
Exactly.
it.
Or
Because
maybe he saw that she was tripped by the Hilton thing, by the
Yeah.
Hilton dinner.
mm,
Maybe he could tell that she was tripping for the because she claims that I could see that this guy did not have as much as he claimed. But maybe her saying at least he paid for dinner. Maybe there's something there. I don't know, but clearly this guy is a packager. But what I wanted to go is the idea of consent and rape, right? The idea that I consented on the payment of 200K,
mm,
and so if you don't fulfill that term and condition, then you have raped me because my consent is now null and void. Because and I struggled with this one because they made the parallel to stealthing, which is basically I'm agreeing to have sex with you on the basis that I know that we're going to use a
You're going
condom,
to, yeah.
right?
mm.
And then midway through, you slip the condom off, and then I find out after the fact that you actually didn't use that we had unprotected sex. Now
Yeah.
I don't know if that's considered rape, but it's at least sexual assault in many countries, right? So and the principle there is that I agreed or I gave consent based on certain conditions, and
Mm,
now that the sex is done, those conditions were not upheld. So in the same thing here is I gave a consent based on an amount being paid. Now the amount isn't paid. Why can't she cry rape? And for me, in my spirit, I feel like it's not the same thing, but I cannot have, I'm struggling for a logical argument as to why it's not the same thing. Because I gave consent based on conditions. So what do you guys think about that?
as I said earlier, mm, rape, the word rape, a lot of people that have gone through rape in a way of this is not even with somebody you were talking to. They just carried you from the road and went to go and rape you somewhere. You cannot go in front of them and say because I asked 200K and then so I understand where people are coming from, but when you talk about rape, and because what was she charging 200K for?
For Nax potentially or for appearance fee?
Exactly. So she was charging 200K for sex. Let's just say it like that.
Mhm.
Now, if the guy now the issue is I don't even know if he paid the 100,000 now.
That's
In
the
fact,
thing.
that's the thing.
That's
So
yeah.
for the fact that he didn't pay anything and then no, my issue I would say that in I would say that she messed up in the sense that she should have collected her money beforehand so that this kind of issue will not come because this is a so because now the question is I know this is you can't compare but the question is if you order something online eh no you won't call it rape now if it's another kind of service will you call it rape? I
No,
don't
but
even know.
but if it's another kind of service, it's still theft because
It's theft, it's theft, is not rape.
no, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that if like theft is not only when someone comes with a gun to your house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Theft has other forms. So that's basically what they're saying here. That rape is not only when you at gunpoint, rape me or there's violence
Yes,
involved,
is when I didn't
right?
consent
It's
and you forced
consent.
yourself on me.
Yeah,
Yes.
and consent is predicated on a few, because even the whole idea of what is rape or assault is that I can have agreed to kissing you or even giving or getting head, right? But I did not agree to going the full thing, and then you went the full way. So it's the same thing here, where like I gave my consent, understanding that certain things were going to be, were going to happen. If they didn't happen, then that consent is null and void. That's basically what the argument is. Like same thing with stealthing.
Okay.
Like we agreed on condom usage because for what, maybe I enjoyed more with condom. Maybe I'm trying to not get pregnant. Maybe I'm trying to avoid STDs, whatever the case may be. Right?
And
I agreed on that.
mm,
If you told me that I can never use condom, I would not have agreed. And I think that's the key thing, right? If you had told me that you will not use condom, I would not have agreed. So if money was not discussed, I would not have agreed. So you telling me something to gain my consent, but they're not following through, that consent is no longer valid. That's the argument.
I don't
That's
know.
interesting.
I don't know.
So
For me,
me,
I think
yeah.
rape is just if you don't consent to something, whether it doesn't even have to be violent. So all this what were you saying? You were saying something about like if someone says, "Oh, I'm wearing a condom," you don't wear it. Then so basically, someone like that can say that they were raped because the person didn't fulfill.
And I'm gonna be careful on the wording because I didn't do the research, but I think at the very least it's considered sexual assault. Whether it's considered rape now, I'm not really sure. But basically, it is a violation of, yes, I said yes, I wanted to have sex with you, but
these
only
were not the
if condom.
terms.
Yes.
Okay,
So
but the problem I have with this thing is because I think this rape thing is crazy. Because the problem I have with it is, okay, somebody said, "Let me use a condom on." Someone says they're going to use a condom, they don't use it. Why let it happen? Why not just
Because you
stop?
don't have the power.
Maybe
maybe the person then forces you. Like the person is more powerful. The person is stronger. Or what?
No.
Because if they force you, then that's rape. Like,
No,
do you get
That's
like
rape.
so stealthing is not even a force based. Stealthing
exactly.
is that maybe I didn't feel it come off.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I'm not aware until after the fact that where's the condom, or like, so that basically what it like is, like you secretly, or even if you put a hole.
You deceive someone basically.
Because like, for example, like one guy in the abroad somewhere, what his whole issue was, he put a hole in the condom, not to get her pregnant, but more because in the vigorousness of the activity, because of that hole, the condom will have torn. So it would have been more or less like him having unprotected sex with her. Right? So that was and that was also, and she won in court, because it's like, I agreed to protected condomized sex. You put in a hole to make it tear easily.
Yeah, that's wrong.
So you may not always feel that the condom has come off, or has broken, or has done something, that has been compromised, and so your consent at that point becomes null and void. And
The
that's the
problem with this
argument.
girl's case is just it's money. If money was not involved, I feel if we didn't hear anything about money, I feel like maybe there would even be a case. But once money comes in, then I don't know how you're going to argue. I mean, I don't know the kind of lawyers you would get to even argue your case. Him, her, whatever happened.
But I think the only legal issue with her, because the only legal issue with money is that sex for money is prostitution, and it's illegal in many countries.
That's another thing.
That would be the only legal issue that she will have. But the consent issue, though, for me, is still not solved, because she gave her consent on the basis of money, right? If you go and sleep with a prostitute without paying her, you have raped her, like because she's like in her line of work, right? She said, if you don't pay me this money, like, she's not doing this for free or for emotions. So her consent is predicated on a condition that, if that condition is not met, now to your point, a real prostitute will pay before service, no time for too much talks. And maybe that was her issue. Maybe here is that and to me, I think maybe if it wasn't rape, maybe what had happened was, maybe she was tripped by the Hilton and the money that she thought he may have. right?
Yeah.
And
Mm.
so maybe she let her guard down in terms of like, collecting maybe what he was
Collecting
due.
beforehand.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then also I can see how the whole let me book a room for you, because he claimed that he booked it in her presence, right? So maybe that also give her confidence that okay, if he's paying for a room on his own money,
He's up to it.
And he's
like
coming back
yeah,
tomorrow, and he's enjoyed his
yeah,
time with her. He would,
exactly. What's the big deal? Do you get what I'm saying? Right, but again,
Mm.
anybody can book a room and cancel it. There's no, because he didn't even use his
Yeah.
money. He used points. It basically what he claimed. So
Yeah.
like
And
there
who
was no
knows?
money
Is
out.
that his account? Is that his Hilton
That's
account?
that's a fair
Ha.
point. That's another angle, because
Uh,
he didn't book it in her name. He booked it in his name and added her as a
as a
additional
guest.
member, which means that he can cancel and she can cancel, right? So
Mm.
many things could have happened in the sense of like he had given a package of
I'm a big boy.
exactly, I'm a big boy, and then when push came to shove, he was a small boy.
Mm. That is
But
why we
like
should not believe big boy by eye. It's not
As
by
in,
Benz. It's not like I've even seen when females, and this is to my females out there, don't look at a guy driving Benz and believe he's a big boy, because people are borrowing car. People are
packaging.
borrowing. People
even
are
my
borrowing
friend
lifestyle.
even my friend
Hey,
that asked was even saying how like the guy may like some of the guys that drive big cars, right? They may have a connect where maybe they bought the car very cheap in the US and then shipped it down,
Mm.
or maybe the car has so many faults, but you don't know, right?
Yeah.
All
I've
you're
seen
seeing
his car.
is yeah, it's car is Benz, right?
uh,
And
Olori, you're even going far. What of the ones that you have an uncle, an auntie that has
You
house
not
in
borrow.
Abuja, that
yeah,
is very rich, that has house in Asokoro, as
yeah,
they said, he has house in Asokoro, or he works in Asokoro, whatever. Has house in Asokoro, has cars inside the house. Most of the time, 6 months in their life, they are abroad or they are in
yeah,
another state. You're
yeah,
cruising the car, you're living there for free. That is a whole packaging, but on a real level, if they check your account now,
nothing.
20K is not there.
She
That
bang.
is what they are doing. Ah,
But at 30, like to me, it just breaks my heart. At 30, 35, as a guy, like this is still like this kind of game
this
still
is what
excites
is
you.
your,
Game you're playing.
yeah, this is what you want
Yeah.
to do with your life. Come
Like
on.
this excites you, like at
Abba.
30, 35. And and to me, if you're a doctor, you are in a professional line of work. So why are you not
Mhm.
concerned that your name may be dropped? Like it just to me, like our
Are you
priorities.
saying doctors are more sensible
As
in
in,
life?
No,
I'm
no, no, no,
sorry,
no, no, no,
oh.
no, no. No, what I'm saying is that like you have more to like. This girl is a singer that nobody really knows.
knows.
You are
Yeah.
a doctor that is answerable
No,
to a body, to a
yes. Do you
chain
know
of
what I
command.
think? I think he has just been so comfortable with doing this crap. Nobody has called him
Yeah.
out.
That's
So
Yeah,
the thing.
now he has become so comfortable that he's just doing it at will, forgetting that somebody one day will treat you the right way, and you will come and be grumbling on
And the
the
problem
thanking
is
page and talking rubbish.
he's not even good at it. Many people do this and get away with it. Because that's what my own friend
Yeah.
was. There's a way he would have handled this girl that she won't like you. First of all, you have to pay her money. That's what my friend said. If you agree to pay money, you have to pay. But
No,
even if
but
he's
he
not,
doesn't have now. This kind
that's
human being
exactly
cannot
exactly.
have.
He doesn't have. So he was like, there's a way you can finesse the girl. Or God doesn't have the finessing skills, unfortunately. Or maybe the person maybe he tries to finesse and the girl, I mean, with all due respect, this girl, I don't know. I don't really know this her singing thing. You know, I'm not trying to insult her or anything. I don't want to go deep, but unfortunately, the stereotype. So, I don't know. But I'm just saying, if it was a normal girl, if this girl was not a Lagos girl who like my friend was saying that maybe this girl came from one place, no shoddy, and is a singer or something. If it's a girl, let's say someone who has been sheltered or someone who's used to the good things of life, she's not going to come out and embarrass herself. So the
that's
guy
true.
probably would get
That's
away with
true.
that kind of girl.
That's
So
true.
Yes,
he picked the wrong person to play a game with. That's just it. And
he did.
I don't know. He thought that maybe the girl would just leave him. Maybe because she's a singer. It's like, Auntie, oh God, I have no shame. Like I'm coming to call you
Is
out.
that what she said? That she has no shame. That she has.
Exactly.
She has
So it's like
nothing to lose until you
if
go
you're
down.
picking, if you're a fake guy, just make sure you're picking your prey correctly because this is what will happen. That's
Don't go
just
and
it.
look for
Then
people's
for
prey
girls,
in Hilton. Uh-uh.
I for, for
You know
girls, I
one thing
shall
that
get
I've not heard, because when that Jackie Chan guy of China was beat his wife, we knew
Mm.
where he was working. This Alaska guy. Let me go on IG. I've not
exactly
as
where
in
does he work?
what
His
what of the
IG,
two?
If it's the IG I saw, his IG page only has 2 posts. I don't know, maybe I'm looking
Like
at the wrong
promotion
one. It's
events. That's what
promotion, whether he deleted all his
work.
pictures. Because even
Yeah.
her in her post, she was like, okay, I finally found the pictures of you. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering,
I'm fine.
is he
Yeah.
somebody that
Okay.
doesn't even post pictures? Because that is why, in fact, the
But maybe
guy
that
is
plan
dodgy.
work. Maybe because maybe the guy has been down this road before. That's why he's not posting pictures. I mean, that
Yeah.
could be an
Definitely.
angle. That could be a plan.
For females to have come out and called
Yeah.
Ubi, although like they didn't show their faces, we don't know who they are, we don't know whether they, but then for other people to have come out
Yeah.
and they say they know the guy, it is a bit suspicious.
Now,
Even the
mind you,
second,
he's known from 04 to Enugu.
As in from
As in,
Enugu to
he's
Abuja.
known from
I
Enugu to
see,
Abuja. As in, so he's
even,
well known.
even the lady that he was supposed to just help her bring her stuff from the east,
Yeah.
that she went to collect it, and then he now asked, oh, my own is, what is all this? If you don't have money for the, like, there are people that if you have a good rapport with, will sleep with you for
That's what
free
I'm saying.
even, and
Exactly.
then they will go home and everybody has an amicable agreement of, okay, you're a fine boy, you spoke to me, I enjoyed your company, we would sleep together, and that is it. I don't even need
People,
anything
you
else
don't even
from you.
have to pay them for sex. If they
Do
want
you
to have sex,
understand? So why
like
do
it's not.
people go and do all this whole wahala
I think
for how many
because
minutes?
he wanted to chop because he couldn't run the relationship package because she was leaving the next day. If it was an
Yes.
Abuja based girl, maybe he could have run the I love you, I like you, I want to do
Because
that kind of
that's
a
typically
package.
what happens.
Exactly,
Yeah.
that's
Mm,
a standard package. But she was leaving the next day, so he had to
Do quick.
strike while the while it was. But to be like, it's just sex. Look at the lengths you have gone as a man above the age of 30
Honestly.
for sex.
I mean, I'm sure you've been having sex for a long time now in your life. Why
Exactly,
Exactly.
is
probably,
it?
yeah.
Why did you need to? It's like that kind of, I want to conquer Queency.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to show her that I can do. How are you? See where you've ended up now. Eh? See
Free
where he
games.
has ended up.
To me, I hope whatever hospital he works in, I really hope that they at least suspend him to
Yeah.
put the fear of
Well,
God in him, because I just feel like you can't, like, I'm not a big fan of sex for money, but if you agree to an amount or you bring an amount
And you
out,
pay up.
it's
then you
pay
have
up,
to pay
pay
up.
up, pay up,
Like,
pay
you
up.
have to pay up. Like, I don't like, to me, I really like us to know where this guy was working so that we can call out the
Exactly.
establishment, because I just don't.
That is
Yeah,
the question is he working?
That's my own.
All the I even suspect about this Aisha Buhari talk.
Uh,
Oga,
that's a key point. Maybe actually not work, or maybe he's doing contract, because many doctors may not, because you get the doctor title once you finish med school. You don't actually have to
exactly.
practice or
That's
go
what I
to
was saying.
residency.
that's
I
So
the
wish
thing.
all his practicing. Because I'm
that's a
not
fair
even sure.
point. That's a fair point. Someone has to treat
I
people as human being. Like,
Yeah.
I just like it's. But I would say that the one girl that claimed that there was a rape involved, she came
mm,
from the one that they
Enugu.
sent her bags
her
from
bags,
Enugu.
yeah.
For me, I feel like there's something to be investigated there, in the sense that she claimed
Mm.
that there wasn't any talk of anything other than pick up her bags,
Bags,
and
yes.
that when the police was involved, police didn't do anything, which again is not unheard of. And
Yes.
Yeah.
then after that, the
She spotted him in
yeah,
Hilton.
the same Hilton
And she was
again,
shouting. Yeah.
and then she was shouting, and she caused a scene. So to me, I'm
He
like,
ran away.
I don't think it's every day that people cause a scene in Hilton. So I feel like that
Yeah.
can be easily verified in terms of, did she cause a scene? Because if she caused a scene, then he can't claim that he doesn't know her. So what
And
was the
for
basis of
yes, and for the
that?
fact that she said she can come and stand behind, if Quincy wants to like take
Yeah.
him to court and everything, she can come.
The other thing that actually this reminds me of is that clearly this guy is a hanger, like he has around Hilton, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
should it be a girl?
That's another subject.
Had it been it was a girl? Because we've had many cases of girls maybe going to go and eat in the lounges
They won't
of
even let you in.
hotels.
Eat, Kev.
Yeah,
Just drink one bottle of Star for 3 hours.
exactly. or maybe you've come to see someone that stays in a room there, and they're waiting for
Yeah.
them downstairs or something, and then they see you and then now treat you like a shower, basically looking for money.
Yeah.
So I'm like, men don't get the same treatment. You can be
No.
a guy randomly sitting down in a hotel in Nigeria, and they will not harass you like they will harass a girl doing the same.
Exactly.
So to me, I'm like, 'cause if Hilton had applied the same energy to Alaska, would be maybe he will not see women to prey on in Hilton. Because how did you achieve your diamonds? Because to your points, Eka, if you are a regular doctor living in Abuja, how are you racking up points in Hilton?
Yeah.
You live there. So why? How? I mean, where are the points coming from? As in, where?
But maybe he's a globetrotter. Maybe he came from the abroad. Maybe he's been a Hilton member for a while.
Because I was looking for.
Hilton on us.
I wanted to go on the abroad, but your accent is very 042. So where is the abroad?
He's
Like,
talking
Now,
something,
are you
okay?
trying to say that abroad people do not have
Oh
must
my
have
God.
accent? Come on.
no, but at least we'll hear the R being
I saw no
rolled.
forget.
I live
Oh,
Just by accent.
Baltimore, Baltimore. So like I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear any,
maybe he just got back in 2005, so it has gone.
because I was like, I don't understand this guy, man. Like Queency. Also Queency, I don't know.
My word of advice, if you're an aspiring show,
Artist. Oh,
first
I
thing I'll
saw.
say, well, shall we speak for the shows first? But if you're aspiring a show, please, it's a business transaction. As a businesswoman, I will not release my goods until I have money in my account. Ideally, even 24 hours better for me. So if you know that you're doing a transactional thing, just make sure that that money is in your account so that we won't, then if you are a guy and you're trying to, dash and kini, whatever you call it, you want to
Dine
F
and
and
dash.
dash.
Yeah.
Thank you, dine and dash. Please, if you don't have the skills of finessing or you don't know how to package yourself from beginning to end, don't do it. Pick your prey
Wait,
carefully.
sorry. If it is your advice, I don't understand. Though. If you are what you're trying to say, if you're a man that can dine and dash, please know how to have skills. No,
Yes,
what you're supposed to say is that
because
if you're a man that wants to dine and
no.
dash, your time is coming and we will kill you. That is what you're supposed to say. You're not supposed to be encouraging them to learn better skills.
But it's the same thing with the Ashewo now. Ashewo is not Ashewo no be work. But
Shower,
if you
no, a
choose to
shower is a transactional business. At least she has come to say, see, if you want to sleep with me, this is your money.
dine and
But
dash
that
is
one is
for
coming.
dine and dashing is for it's the same way I would give advice to a 419 guy. If you know you want to do 419, make sure you have sense.
It's
Make sure
true,
you're
Sha.
packaging. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you because both people, whatever it is that they're doing or we think they're doing, they shouldn't even
It's
be doing it.
illegal.
Exactly. It's not even morally right. But I'm saying if you're going to go on that path, then at least make sure you know first of all, who are you dealing with? Secondly, pick the right prey. Because even with 419, people know the people they can do 419 for. It's not everybody. Do you get what I'm saying? So pick the right,
True.
pick who you don't go and carry, something that you cannot carry. That's just it.
But even speaking about that, like, can we talk about like his group of friends too? Because as the guy that called him to be like, oh yeah, we know that he like. I feel like guys with their friendships, it's very
ridiculous.
surface level. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that you can be like for fear of being like looked at as a Dan and Dasher.
They
I want to
don't care.
distance
I noticed
myself.
that guys don't. Yeah, I think men in general are not like I don't know. I don't think they care that deep. Like it's just where guys like
Which is
anyhow
why like rape culture is big, because like men don't hold their male friends accountable for like rape.
accountable.
Yeah, like okay, like and they even bring the gist to the guy, beer parlor,
Yeah,
hangout, and guys
definitely.
will laugh and encourage. So to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
our men all round have to do better. Like this, like at 30,
No, but
it's ridiculous.
sorry, I beg to disagree. Me, I believe that he's flocking with the people that he's flocking with who
Fair.
are birds of the same feather.
That's true.
So because it is one thing of maybe he doesn't pay up and all that, and he deceives girls, or as Quincy has said, he rapes. But then the friends might be doing some funny things as well. They might not, they will not go as far as raping because they are not
Rape.
they are not rapists, but then they are doing some dodgy things and deceiving girls all about.
And I think
So
it's sad because men tend to turn a blind eye to things like that. Like, you
Yeah.
know, somebody did
yes,
something wrong, and you're like, since I was like, you were there, maybe to an extent, but you're like, oh, since I wasn't there
waiting
actively, then
concern me attitude.
yeah, it doesn't concern me. And I'm like, that's that's not right. They can say, and sometimes they'll tell you, oh, but I told him it was wrong. But I'm like, I don't know.
Because
Why are you hanging out with
even
this
the
person?
friends that followed him to the Hilton cannot tell me that they were completely not in the know of how that night would have panned out.
Hmm.
Them following, because I'm like
Because
that
they
whole
know when
Hilton
they start calling
entourage.
themselves bad guy, this one, my guy,
Exactly.
all those nonsense.
So they knew that maybe they would have known, except the guy is finessing them as well and telling them he has money when he doesn't. But they would have known that my guy doesn't have the amount to
Yeah,
pay
that
this
he
girl. So
Exactly,
how is he
exactly.
running the package?
men are
Of
crazy,
which
Sha.
most guys know, like I feel like most guys know when a guy doesn't have as much money as he's claiming. They
Yeah.
also know.
Yeah,
So for me, I'm
definitely.
like, and then what and then I guess my take to the homegirl is that also I feel like girls who, because she even claimed in that first interview that when he was saying that basically that during the dinner they were actually having a conversation, and he was like, oh, you've been doing shaka for me this whole time, that what that was going on, and she was like, I don't think you can afford me. I guess
Yeah.
on the basis of him telling the friend to not come for the dinner, and
Yeah.
that she was like, that it's not a guy that has money that gives, it's a giver that gives, right?
Hmm.
I'm like, a giver without money cannot give you, but okay,
Exactly.
let's move on. So for me, I feel like if that is important to you, that the guy you're with or whatever is
Doesn't.
so,
Yeah.
I feel like you need to spend more time trying to figure out what he does. Like you need to
Yeah.
invest, because
Exactly.
for me, just hearing the amount involved in this story, I really had to go and do research on, because to me, a doctor in Nigeria cannot afford to live a life like this. Hilton for dinner, like, because that night
Again, I said
alone,
doctor might just be by name. That's just it.
that's
Yes, I know
it's
someone
not
who is
unheard
a
of.
doctor. Like, she went to medical school, but she's not. I mean, she calls herself doctor, but she's not. Like, she doesn't. She has never worked in a hospital, but she calls herself a doctor.
But that's what I'm saying. But because I'm like, okay, let's say I'm this girl now. I'm money
Mm.
hungry, right?
Mm.
Now I've billed you 1K dollars. That didn't even fear you. You even came back to now
Yeah.
bargain me down. That
Yeah.
means, so that's 200K. For my dinner, maybe you spent 20 to 50K.
Yeah.
And let me say between me and you, maybe I spent 100K on that dinner, right?
Mm.
You now still paid casino for me and you. You now still went to
Yeah.
club that night,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you've now booked a room. Like, that's easily a 500K night.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not your birthday. It's not Christmas bonanza. It's true. It's not a New Year festival. Nothing happened. Just
so so so
a random night.
so she agrees that he paid for her dinner, Abby.
Yeah, he paid for dinner, but he let her know that the friend should not show
Have
up.
come.
Come around.
Show up for the dinner. So to me, I'm like, 500K has gone down that night. So
Hmm.
where did you think? Let's assuming that you really believe that he's a doctor. Where did you think that money was coming from? Did you ask him, okay,
Yeah.
what investment
She's
are you
lying.
using
I
to
bet. Forget that
like?
thing. She's lying.
So for me, as a girl who is into being that wants to relax and be taken care of, you do, like, you cannot but do your research into
Exactly.
what the guy does, knowing
Mm-hmm.
that Abuja guys have this rep for packaging but nothing in pockets.
But
Yeah.
many women don't do that research. They just see money. They just collect. They
That's
don't
the
think
point.
that I hope somebody will not follow me and say that the money that they gave me was stolen. They don't do that research. They just see flashy things, and which is what in
That's
this
the
day
problem.
now we are still saying, please don't look at car, don't look
Mm-hmm.
at Benz, don't look at this, don't look at that, and say the guy has money, because many people are packaging, but people
Yeah.
don't want to hear. Eh?
Also, she was saying something about during dinner, like he was because I think Freeze censored some words, which I'm guessing are private parts that she was talking about. She was
Yeah.
saying that when they're sitting down, like he was touching her here, touching her there, and I'm just
Ooh.
like, okay, or you build him, then you now negotiate it. Like this money thing just messes up everything, because sometimes this is why people don't believe rape victims. Sometimes girls will consent. They'll be like, oh, okay, like, okay, let's do this. And then it happens, and maybe you catch feelings that night, or maybe sex was so good, and then you call the guy. Maybe the guy will block your number, or he won't pick up, or he'll post you. And then you now feel, some people, depending on if the girl is not, mentally okay, or she's just not balanced, she might now start saying, oh, I know it happened to someone I know. The person said, but you raped me. God said, how? Like, there was no court, because there was no rape. So I'm just like, I don't know. The money thing, that transaction, whether there was money paid or not, but the fact that someone was touching you like that, you claim, or you're saying that you didn't even like how he was touching you, but later you said, okay, come to my room. If somebody touches me like that.
Did she agree that she told him to come to her room?
Yeah.
He did that action.
Yeah. And this is where I struggled a bit with that, because we don't want to tell girls that why, what did you wear, or why didn't you dress better? Yeah, but her story did not make sense, in the sense that
it doesn't.
First, she said that he was touching me in a way that I didn't like during dinner, and I already had my reservations about him, and I was already feeling tipsy. And then when my manager brought my pizza to the room, so girl, I like your very healthy appetite. That I should now use that idea to break away from the guy. So she already broke away from the guy the first time, and now he now went to the club alone, I guess, or something. So you're already tipsy. You're already feeling like a bit not like this wasn't the right call for you.
And the guy probably thought that was it. Like, I've missed
exactly,
this girl.
and then
which is why he told his friends that, guys, look, this girl sent me message again, because he had already ended.
Exactly, and then for some reason, you called him back, or I forget how she claims they both met again, that they were in the same club, and that because she was tipsy, he wanted to see, which again, it doesn't, because the story was a bit John, because when she said that he followed me to my room, she made it seem like it was after the dinner that she was tipsy. He now said that let me at least follow you to your room, to let you know, to be sure that you're okay. But then when you're telling the story again, I made it seem like the room thing happened after the club, after they had come back from the club. So I'm like,
oh, did she go to club with him?
Yeah, no. Like, she went to the club separately, but they were but same club apparently. So I'm like, was it after the club, or was it after the dinner? That, because it is like, it was unclear to me when she, because again her story had quite a bit of holes in this. So I'm like, if it's after the club, right? You got to the hotel by yourself, I'm guessing. So we didn't need to follow you to your room.
Yeah.
Right.
But when did this happen? Is it recently? I thought clubs were closed now. Have they opened in Abuja?
Apparently in Abuja, that's not the case. Because it happened last week. This happened last week. Because the friend that left was leaving to get ready for their club afterwards. Yeah, and she drank some more at the club. So to me, I'm like, if you're able to leave the club, then you were fine to get to your room. So is it that he gave you a ride back to your hotel?
Like, no, but he claims that she sent him a message and then he went. Or is it the club in Hilton? Which club is this? It might be the club in the same hotel.
They claim that it's club lit. So I don't really know if that's the Hilton club, but there's a different club called Club Lit. I don't know. But basically, she's saying that it was a different that basically that they had come back to the that basically after the whole dinner thing, she was drinking champagne. Right, and now that already got her, that she suspected that she was drugged on that champagne, that she was already feeling tipsy. Then she goes back to her room. The guy goes to the club. Then she now goes to the club her own self, right, and drinks some more, and then comes back, and then somehow they end up in her room, because she is not claiming that she texted him saying 5 minutes or no show. She's claiming that he wanted to know that she was okay, and so followed her to her room. So I'm like, was it after the dinner? Because that would make sense after the dinner, but not after the club.
But then I would say, to be on her side, if she was already tipsy or high or anything, maybe memory is not clear. So she cannot even put everything together.
can we also say, drinks, drugs, alcohol, kush, whatever they call it, these things can make you horny also. So it can also be counted.
Yes, sir.
What is rubies? Is that a drink?
I
That's
don't know
Like,
what that one is.
I don't know.
she was drinking
Okay,
rubies and
yeah,
smoking
rubies.
kush.
It's a drink. It's a drink. It's a
Like
drink.
wine.
No, it's not like wine. I think it's a special cocktail.
Wow.
Is
Oh,
it cocktail
wow.
or is it like cough
Wow.
syrup or
No,
something?
you know what I mean by special cocktail. Like it's not something you can get. It's not a cocktail you can get in a restaurant.
All
It's like
right, all
special.
right. And then she was
Okay.
smoking as well. We
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I
if
mean
that
those
if
things.
she added that, that is what made her congee hooked, and then she
Yeah,
gave him a
that,
call.
because
Yeah.
as much as you don't know what you're doing, you're also very horny when you take things like that.
So maybe that is
So she
what.
probably just called him.
No.
Oh, that's the thing.
And maybe
Well.
that is what did not allow her collect her
Yeah.
cash.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
She
true.
lost
That's
lost
true.
concentration.
She lost concentration. No, wow. That's a hard one, because if she did lose concentration, no, but then if she lost concentration, eh, will it be right for her to blame him for it?
That's the thing. It's
Yeah.
dicey. We
No.
can't
No.
say.
Because you can't consent if you're under the influence. So what?
Okay, no, yes,
Honorable
because she
consent.
didn't
Yeah.
consent.
Yes.
No, but
Honorable
she called
consent.
him. What did
She
she
called
call him
him
from
now.
the
She
club
called him.
for?
No, that's what he's claiming, that I was
Okay.
called. She's saying that you wanted to see that I was, that somehow you wanted to make sure that I got to my room safely, and
Mm.
that's why I let you in. And then
Okay.
once you were in, you were like, "There's no way I'm living here without a knack."
So
And
in her
her
story,
being,
she did not call him. Oh.
yeah, in her
He's
story, she didn't call him.
right.
In all
Yeah,
things, what will vilify? What's the word? What will show
vindicate.
us the real thing?
Validate.
Is that video? Because that video will show us if she was drunk or if they were
Fair,
playing. She was
fair,
drunk.
Yes.
fair, fair,
So that's the only thing. Like that's now the
fair.
evidence needs to an
And
extent.
if
Because
she
because
if she,
in her story, it was, you came into my room to see that to make sure that I was okay, and then
Yes.
it
and then you
happened.
took advantage.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
wasn't any shower time, any foreplay, any extra kidney call. So that would be another. But again,
Yeah.
if you're horny and high, right?
That then it's
Those things could have happened, but you're not able to consent when you're high. So under what consent was he indulging in all those
yeah.
things
And
as
if
well?
she was horny and high and all those kind of things, if she was in an intoxicated state,
Yeah,
then I would say I am siding her. Oga,
yeah,
you should have known better to just leave her. Like, because you're taking advantage of her. You know her state. You know that she's not thinking straight, and that is probably why you went and you took advantage of her like that, because you know that in her normal state she will not consent to what you're doing. So
right.
the Oga,
Like, to me, I feel
Alaska,
like,
I will be.
if I'm a guy, and let's do kind of final thoughts. If I'm a
Mm,
guy, right, I just feel like even I shouldn't be having sex under the influence. Do you get what I'm saying?
exactly.
So to me, I wouldn't even like, because if she is high, she can't consent. That's a standard legal thing. If she's high, she
Mm,
can't consent. So for me, if me too, I'm high, because sometimes like in like colleges, like, oh, we're both high. If I'm high,
mm.
I should go and take a cold shower, or buy some Vaseline. But you like, leave. Don't say we're both high. No,
But
like, you
this
two
thing is
leave.
also dicey. There are people who like to have sex drunk. There are people who like to have sex high. Do we know? Like we're not there. That's just my thing, because it's like some people would like that. Some people like this experience because it's
Fair,
different.
fair,
So I'm like,
fair.
the guy. It's possible him too. He was half drunk, because like Eka was saying, Konji. Both of them probably were experiencing the same thing. But it's like that's the thing. That's the thing with rape, Sha. Especially
But
when it's not the violent type. If it's
but
just like, oh, you know.
exactly. But I'm saying,
Mm,
as a guy, because in this rape thing, it's typically guys that are the offenders. Right? So I'm like, as a guy, right? If I am
Mm,
also high and intoxicated, then I'm
mm.
not going to come to your room. Like, it's like my own personal accountability, right?
mm.
Either don't get drunk or
Help
high to the point,
yourself.
yeah, to the point where you can't help your own stuff, or once you're
Um,
getting there, just like, guys, I'm getting there, oh, please don't let me go. And like you have a responsibility to your own self to not
Mm,
do anything that will make things make you be called
dicey.
a
A
rapist the next
rapist.
day. So for me,
Yeah.
even if he was high on honey too, I feel like given that you are the most
Targeted for rape. You
exactly,
help yourself.
like
That is
there
it.
are security people in Hilton that would have helped her get to her room safely. You didn't have to be
Yeah.
the one.
Mm,
But yeah, sorry.
I
Final
don't.
thoughts from you girls.
I would say the whole thing. Now that I've even heard, I'm going to go now and go and watch that Daddy Freeze interview, because now that I've even heard all these sides, is now becoming more dicey. And as we've dissected it, there are many loopholes here that could
Mm.
possibly show that even when there is monetary
Yeah,
talk there, there's the possibility for rape.
Sorry.
Because if we don't say that, that means every prostitute cannot say she was raped. Is
yeah,
that what it will be? And
exactly.
that is wrong, because if a prostitute says, as you said, Olori, if a prostitute said this is my fare and you don't pay, and then you take advantage of her, you have raped her, because she didn't consent at that point in time. She was
Yeah.
just negotiating. So
Yeah.
I would say for both parties, I don't have, unfortunately, I can't even have any remorse for this Alaska guy,
Mm-hmm.
because from all angles, he looks like he's not coming
Useless.
correct. Exactly. And then for Quincy, I'll just say now she has experienced it. I don't know what she will do next with this, but I believe I'm hoping that if she was raped, she should please seek help for her state of mind, not even for anything else, because
Mm,
sometimes at this time now everything is buzzing, and she might be getting some, apart from even backlash, she might be getting some support from people, and then there might be somebody that will give her money, but I don't know how long that will heal her for, so she should just seek help. I beg.
For me, I just think both people involved have questionable characters. The girl herself, the guy himself. It's a case of two can play the game, but someone lost out, and the person feels like, oh, let me, I don't know. For me, I feel like it's a form of revenge because I don't understand her posting her kidney, and I don't know. There was even a post she posted where she was basically hyping herself up and like how much she's worth, and I'm like, I don't know. Your character is, I don't know. I'm not. So both of them are just silly people. That's just my own thing. I don't support anybody, but it's like if you're going to play the game, then make sure you've planned yourself well and you know that your terms and conditions are met. If they're not met, don't move forward.
Don't
And then if you're going
indulge.
to come and package, then please package correct from head to toe, beginning to end. That's just my
Anyway, ladies, we've come to the end of a blockbuster
blockbuster for real.
Blockbuster, for real,
episode.
for real.
So I will see you girls in the next party.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.